The site was designated as a high point in the heart of the Tanjong Pagar district. The idea from the planning authorities was for this to be an icon as well as a landmark for the area. We saw the great potential of this site to become a transformative project that would change what Tanjong Pagar means for people. Initially, we were allowed to build over the MRT station, but when we studied the site, we felt that the Tanjong Pagar area will become more and more built up over time. And what would be really key for the district would be to have a sizable green lung as well as public space so that it could serve as a relief as well as a center for events and activities.
We did a comprehensive market survey to future-proof our design and tested many schemes in order to create a brand new product to differentiate ourselves from the rest. Tanjong Pagar Centre is our flagship development. It demonstrates our ability to complete complex projects and our strength as a master developer. Tanjong Pagar Centre is probably the first in Singapore to have residential unit built from and above 180 meter high. We have 6 components in play here: the residential, the office tower, hotel, the retail, connection to MRT, and a big urban park space. Each have different usage and requirement. The challenge is to recognize the differences, successfully integrate them without disrupting their function. Tanjong Pagar Centre is extremely unique in its integration and probably the most comprehensive integrated mixed development in Singapore.
The Tanjong Pagar area is actually a very interesting district in the CBD. Most part of the CBD is modern and new, but the Tanjong Pagar area comprises both the new modern buildings as well as historical district. There's also quite a sizable residential population within Tanjong Pagar area. So the combination of having Grade A offices, hotels, residents, and also the conservation shophouses actually forms a very interesting and diverse mix of users and activities. In fact, it is a place that feels very authentic and yet modern. So when we introduce Tanjong Pagar Centre into the area, we actually bring the best-in-class offices, retail, hotel and residential into the area. When you mix these best-in-class infrastructure and facilities with the very authentic and vibrant historic district, it actually forms a very interesting conversation between the two.
The coming together of the mixed uses of the project, as well as the connectivity to the MRT station and the open space, will have an impact to allow for the community to utilize the facility 24/7.
While planning and curating the F&B and retail options in Tanjong Pagar Centre, we studied the existing dynamic F&B scene in the whole district. So for basement 1 and 2, with the direct connection to the MRT station, we targeted takeaway and convenience retail. For level 1, the restaurants were set in a very unique urban park setting, so the concepts of experiential dining like GR East and Pura Basah. The last component is services, where we offered dental, medical and wellness services, and of course a Virgin Active gym. The gym, with 30,000 square feet of modern facilities, has been very well received by both office tenants and residents alike. So whether you're an office tenant, hotel guest, resident or shopper, you have literally everything under one roof. So one can enjoy a wide array of F&B options and the natural sanctuary of the urban park. This completes your live, work, play environment. With the completion of Tanjong Pagar Centre, you can live like a local while enjoying the luxuries of a brand new development.
Tanjong Pagar Centre demonstrates the heights this vision has reached in terms of seamless integration while maintaining segregation of components. Earlier, people want to move away from the city, but now they're all moving back to the heart of the urban environment.
When we do a project, usually we start from the user in mind. Whether we're doing an office or we're doing a residential apartment, it's very important that we conceive of the project in terms of our users, the trends and what's going to happen, what would their needs presently and in the future be.
Luxury is many things and different things to many people. We see luxury as having a peace of mind. It's very important to build a sanctuary where the user can retreat to recuperate, rejuvenate. Designing space is about the history, so what we did was we went back on the history, using the history as an inspiration and building for the aspiration of the general population.
From the beginning, we already know that the residential component has to be very different. Instead of the usual typical arrangements, the residential units here starts from mid-level, which is already 180 meters above. The height provides exclusivity to the views and privacy, which elevates the luxury of the development. We were also steering away from the typical shoebox units, so the sizes here are more luxurious. The finishes and fittings have to meet with the expectations of the potential buyers. And with only 181 units, the residential units becomes collector's items.
The facade for TPC is actually fully unitized curtain wall panel. The main intention of this large piece of glass is so that we can have as little horizontal joints as possible as we go up the entire height of the tower, so that we achieve this seamless and continuous look.
So when we were designing and planning this, we were very mindful that each of the components must have its own celebrated arrival experience. To us, it is very important that you come home, you have a sufficient space and time to get into the mood and the space of where you're going to. For many modern person, time is a luxury. So when we are able to integrate live, work and play into the same development, to be able to get around the city via the MRT, it actually saves us a lot of time. It allows us to do many things within the same space. And that, to us, is both a new way of living, but it's also a form of luxury. Our intention for this site was to be both a physical landmark as well as a social landmark, so that people could come and gather and have activities and form collective memories. As Singapore's tallest building, because of its height and its iconic design, it will naturally become a physical icon.
Efficiency and the harmony is one of the most important things, and at the same time, with the well-being of the users in mind. What we did here is to build a very intuitive space. The space will change to the need, the time, the season.
So the Hawker Center in Singapore is very important to the way people experience the city. The open food market brings people together during the day and during the evening when the temperature cools down. And so we looked to that when we were designing the park at Tanjong Pagar as a way to bring people together and experience the project.
The development seems to be attracting people who are more visionary. Our office tenants, many of them are very much the disruptors to their respective industry. So I think it's got to do with the fact that the development has a very forward-thinking concept. And so I think it appeals to people who can see potential better. The Wallich residence is an integral part of the community of Tanjong Pagar Centre. And we want to attract visionaries into the residential component so that collectively they can form these very interesting communities of visionaries.
This is a new kind of lifestyle, vertical city living. Some people may not understand it, but it will definitely evolve into a popular trend. Plenty of thoughts and planning goes into the design process, making it livable and unique.
Guaco Tower currently has 8,000 office workers and thousands of visitors to the building every day. There's a great buzz and soul to the whole development. With the 5 components of Tanjong Pagar Centre and the synergy that it brings together, it's really proven to be a success.
The Tanjong Pagar area growth story will continue beyond the transformation of the district into the future waterfront. And that transformation story will go on for many years to come.